tinfoil hat. Oh, what are you guys even talking about?
Global controls will have to be imposed, and a world governing body will be created to enforce them.
Welcome to Tinfoil Hat. We go deep, homeboy. Eric, open your mind. Drink from the fountain of knowledge. There's lizard people everywhere. That's some interdimensional shit. Wake up, Aaron.
This is only the beginning.
Dude, you just blew my mind.
Are you ready to get your mind blown?
Hey guys, real quick, I want to tell you something. We gotten some complaints about beeping and certain words here on YouTube. You got to play the game. You got to play the game. So here, if you want to hear beep free, just go to samtripoli.com. All the videos are there. No beeps, all love. Let's go. All right, everybody, and welcome to another Tinfoil Hat live from the Wise Wolf Gold and Silver Studio adjacent. Just go to samtripoli.gold, use the promo code TINFOIL, and you two can get in on the Press Mails game for as little as $50 a month. Simple and easy. Very excited to have our next guest on. She's been on a couple times, and it's been a while since we had her on, so I'm glad we can make it happen again. She is a podcaster. She's one of my favorite guests we've ever had, and I'm very excited to have her back on. Please welcome Amy Belair. How are you?
I am doing very well, and I'm really excited to be back here with you guys. Thank you for having me on again.
Anytime. Open door, Amy. For those who may not be familiar with your many appearances on the show, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and where our listeners can find you?
Yeah, the easiest place to find me is at my podcast, which is called Third Eye Awakening, and it's all about spiritual and psychic awakening. It kind of approaches it through the lens of conspiracy, because I don't really see how you can separate the two, especially right now. But I also do Akashic Records readings. I teach people how to access the Akashic Records, how to develop their psychic abilities, how to navigate this crazy matrix that we find ourselves in.
For sure, man. And it just seems to be getting crazier and crazier.
Yeah.
And it makes me wonder if they're either winning or they're getting desperate. Those are,
Yeah, I think they're getting desperate. But I like just the nature of their consciousness is that they will never surrender. Like they will never wave the white flag. So they're just ramping it up all the time to try and harness the inevitable energies of awakening ascension. Like even if you look at the astrology that's happening, right now, they are trying to harness the energies that the astrology is foretelling and use it towards their advantage. But it's a bigger game that's being played. It's bigger even than the elites.
You're speaking my language right now. It's a bunch of stuff that you've said right there. It's like I've always told people that, like, in the end, I think they do lose. In the end, who knows what that looks like? But because there's rules of the universe, and nobody's bigger than the rules of the universe. I don't care if you're Larry Fink running BlackRock and the WEF. You're still not bigger than the universe. And there's like rules of the universe, and that rule is love. And if you're not putting out love, it eventually all comes back to you. No matter how big and powerful you are, you can't beat karma, in my humble opinion. What that looks like, I don't know, but that's my opinion. So, and you're talking about like scripting this kind of playbook. Maybe those weren't your exact words, but that's kind of what I got from it. This whole thing going on in the Middle East right now kind of seems like they're just doing a production play of the end of days, right? Like they're just following a script and astroturfing that it happens. None of this is naturally happening. They're forcing it to happen to get whatever ending they want, whether that's the Messiah or the Greater Israel Project or whatever that is. They're manufacturing this. None of this is naturally happening.
Totally. It isn't naturally happening at all. And I take great issue with the message that we're continuously fed, which is that like all of this violence is just inherent within us. And this way of operating together in the world is just like the natural human default. It's not, it's manufactured, it's programmed into us. We are not inherently this way. It doesn't make sense for anybody to inherently be this way. It's a game of cooperation rather than competition. And that's why they'll always lose because their system that they're using is a self-limiting system. Like they will come to the bottom of it. That's what I think all the resets are, is when they get really close to the bottom, they try and like flip it over so they can continue to sort of stir up new energy for themselves to use
Yes.
and recycle it over and over. But
Yes.
I think that there is a point, as you were saying, that the universe and the multiverse, like the whole totality, is bigger than any of us, including the elites, including the ones who have deliberately maintained their connection to their their continuous soul memories, right? So they're playing a long arc story that they have intentionally interrupted for us. We're in the same story, but they've shortened our lifespans and increased the veil of amnesia that is sort of like cloaking our consciousness so that
Whoa.
we're just cycling over and over, looping in these tiny little incarnations, and we're not able to maintain a continuity of our consciousness and the wisdom that we have earned through those experiences. We have to start from scratch every single time, but they maintain the continuity. And they use all of that knowledge that they've occulted from us to basically manipulate us into manifesting on their behalf, like a literal hellscape that serves their self-serving, selfish, gluttonous, gross desires at our expense. Like they've turned us into both like the battery that they live off of, as well as the ones who maintain the simulation that we are in. You could call it that.
That's crazy. That's totally on point too. I mean, I agree with all that. They've shortened our lives. They make it so even let's not even say uh life to life, the passing of knowledge from life to life. Let's just say generational to generational.
Hmm.
They are consistently flipping every what we're learning so that the older generation cannot tell the younger generation anything, like pass on any knowledge.
Yeah.
So, you know what my daughter thinks is important, what I think is important are two totally different things. That's why they're getting rid of all these statues. That's why they're creating all these different holidays representing different things because it's a totally different skills data point, data set. And you can't pass on to your kids, like even on the smallest levels of the Little Mermaid being white and black.
Yeah.
It's like if you're talking to your kid as a mermaid being white and she thinks the mermaid is black, there's a disconnect there. And it's
Yeah.
very hard for them to take anything you say serious after that point because they see it totally different. And that is done on purpose while the elites are passing on knowledge from generation to generation to generation.
And also, I mean, I can't, this is unfounded, but I think that there's that they are like body hopping too. I don't think they're only cloning. I just their whole thing is they don't want to die. They don't want to die. They've racked up a tab. They don't want to pay off that tab. They're just
Yes.
like here to ride it to the bitter, bitter end, and they do not give a shit what kind of collateral damage they create. The more the better, because they feed off of it, furthermore. And so I think that they not only are they passing on the knowledge to the next generation, but they're also selecting the next body that they want to, like I think that's why they do so much dark stuff with children, because they are the perfect body. It's the perfect body to come back into and to re-experience youth, but to maintain their own like the through line of their consciousness. So they don't have to do it the legit way that everybody else has to, where you live an entire life and you die and then you be born back into another, a brand newborn, and you go through the whole growing process again. They just pick a point to re-enter into a new youthful body.
I totally agree. And if you think that's crazy, just study the Dalai Lama. I mean, that's 100%. He just keeps coming back into a new body, or that's what we're told, right? And then
Hmm.
did you see today that today or yesterday it came out the Dalai Lama is on the CIA's payroll?
No.
Docu Yeah, dude. I mean, it's always fake and gay, dude. It's just like a default to that, fake and gay. But but I totally agree with that. And it's kind of like what they do with MK Ultra. It's like they're constantly churning out data. They're constantly studying excuse me, on who has the characteristics of somebody that they could body hop into. Just like they do that with Manchurian candidates, where they're just constantly studying all the time data, who is susceptible to frequencies that can get them to do things even that maybe they don't want to do.
Hmm.
And then they put out that frequency and the kid goes around and shoots everybody, and then he gets blamed for everything when really he just got manipulated. So if they do that, I could totally see them doing with body hopping and just jump, once their one body shell is coming to an end, they jump into another one because, like you said, they don't want to be judged.
Yeah, and the thing is, I don't think that the true dark forces behind all this are even human anyway. So they're never entering in the natural, like through the natural process that you would enter. They're looking for an opportunity to get into this realm where they can self-deify. You know what I mean? Like they can elevate themselves to be in charge, to be in control, to basically be gods in their own view, and to dominate whatever population, whatever sector of the population, like serve their own carnal desires and needs. Um, and they're not supposed to be here, and so they can't create here. We're the only ones that can create here, and they use us to create, but they need to be, a lot of them have chosen to be in a body in order to like fully experience the pleasures of this realm. Because if you think about Earth, if you remove the layer of chaos and insanity and suffering that is manufactured here deliberately, Earth is a really special place. It's really, really special. You get to come into a completely immersive incarnation experience where you have a body that is designed from the material of this realm to exist in this realm and to be able to decode the energies around you through your five senses, and to experience taste, to experience sex, to experience dance, like all the things, right? there's they don't belong here, but they want to be here, basically.
We just did an episode with Jay Dyer, and we went after how like the CIA created The Exorcist, which reminds me of that. They would make a movie that's so crazy about The Exorcist. This girl turns her head around, and they can literally take over your soul. They can take over your body. And you got to get a Catholic priest. Yeah, you got to get the Catholic priest to take it out. It just sounds like a crazy story, but I mean, if they're literally getting into people's body, you're gonna need a way to take it out.
Well, we also just did an episode. The episode that just dropped before this one was, which was about matter, antimatter, and how
Ooh.
a lot of these, demons might be antimatter, and they have to jump out. They have to jump in the bodies quickly, or else they just get destroyed and sent back. You know, and it's like crazy because like you could you could try to get demon out of you, and if you don't have your house in order, they're all just trying to jump in you, dude. Like as many as they can. It's like it's crazy. That was a crazy episode that started out really dense, and then it made a lot of sense to me. I was like, okay, now I get it. But it was dense. It was great, but that makes sense to me. Like you're constantly having people try to jump in bodies, because if they don't, they get annihilated by the sun.
Oh, that's interesting. Have you already aired that one?
No, it's airing today. After we get done recording this, I'll put it out. It's super dense, but it's great, and it makes sense to me. Like, why is all the hauntings at night? Why does Dracula not like sun? All that stuff is about just sunlight destroys the antimatter. It was very deep, but it fits in exactly what you're talking about, which is body jumping.
Well, and what is sunlight? I mean, I don't want to put words in this guest's mouth. I'm very excited to listen to that episode, but you had a guest on a while ago, and I can't remember his name, but it was such a good episode where he was kind of talking about like all of this on a philosophical level, and he was talking about the solar, like what the sun is, and I resonate with what he's saying so much, as the sun sort of representing the oversoul logos, the oversoul deity of the collective, You could call it the Christ consciousness without trying to go into like religious or political, avenues, but
I
like
love that.
the elevated consciousness that is our true essence. Like, I really believe that we're not inherently violent by nature, but we're obviously capable of violence. Obviously, I would never deny that. But we're not inherently violent. We are inherently good. That's actually what we are created of. And so when you were just saying that about the matter and the antimatter and the sunlight, it's like the sun is that Christ consciousness, that exalted, elevated consciousness, and the return of everything that we actually are when you strip away all the trauma and all the programming, which comes back to what you were saying earlier about it truly being love. Like, love is literally the way out of here. It's
I couldn't
literally the way
agree
out of
more.
this matrix.
I couldn't agree more. And it kind of gets into this thing with, that, when I work with people in recovery and stuff like that, and I talk about abundance versus scarcity, it's like that's everything. It's like give it away, it comes back, tenfold. And I really do believe that wholeheartedly. I give tons of examples of where I've given people money, and then like a week later I get that tenfold back. And that's kind of how it goes. It's like this is an abundance system we live in. And we've had scarcity shoved down our throats since we were kids. There's only so many jobs, there's only so many resources, there's only so many opportunities, and it's just total bullshit. There's enough to go around forever, but they live in scarcity. They create scarcity so that they could dominate.
Yeah.
And it doesn't need to get into that. I wanted to get into one of your talking points real quick,
Okay.
which is the false matrix versus the organic matrix. And the reason I want to bring that up is because this is something I've been talking about for a long time. And it goes back to like my belief that everything you hate in the world is funded by the central bank system, the Federal Reserve. They are funding, um, the false reality and projecting it against God's reality. And I've been saying that forever. All these things that you go, whoa, that doesn't make sense. And that is the moment that you're dealing with the false reality. When you have to sit there and think, oh, okay, well, I don't think that makes sense. That's a false reality. Trans using women's bathrooms, right? Trans in sports, all this crazy stuff that we see constantly. That we're like, that doesn't really make any sense to me. That's the false reality being astroturfed by the Federal Reserve using black magic, fractional reserve banking to basically bribe everybody into playing ball. And that's it everywhere. All the wars, all the, all the ridiculous social movements, cultural movements. I mean, all of our culture is completely and utterly astroturfed. Like what is real? What is real? The feminism, CIA, uh, hip hop, CIA, the hippie movement, CIA. I mean, we can just keep going down. It's all CIA. All of it is just completely astroturfed, and it's like that's what I'm talking about. They're projecting a false reality. They're projecting an anti-God reality on everything, anti-nature. That's what they're doing right there. So, what are your thoughts on like the real matrix versus the organic matrix, the organic matrix versus false matrix?
Yeah, well, I want to give a shout out to Mark Steves actually, because he and I shared a conversation back in 2021, I think, and there was just something that he said that like unlocked that ability to see the difference between these two matrix layers for me. Which is why I love having these conversations because they just we activate and unlock our
Yes.
consciousness collectively. None of us has the
Yes.
complete answer, but we're piecing the puzzle together. So what I see is like this realm. So sometimes I'll call it an organic simulation because in a lot of ways it is a simulation, just meaning that we know our bodies are temporary. Like we know this experience is temporary. And it is it's very unique. You don't find a physical realm like this everywhere throughout the universe. So this organic simulation, meaning it's not artificial intelligence, it's not computer programmed, it is a function of the whole multidimensional construct and the consciousness and the vibrational decoding abilities of the beings that live here. So human beings, other intelligent beings, animals, like everything that interacts with the this bandwidth of vibration. It's a beautiful immersive environment. And kind of going back to that whole like Louis C.K. bit, like the earth is covered in food for us. Like everything we need is here. Every
Yes.
single thing we require to survive. It's not actually a hostile environment. We are mortal nonetheless, and we do have vulnerabilities nonetheless. And this is meant to be a mystery school where we experience contrast for the purposes of like experiencing and integrating wisdom beyond just thought exercises, right? So that like this is a very special place. And we are uniquely designed to be able to not only decode the sort of like vibrational patterns that create this realm, but to also choose from a whole smorgasbord, consciously choose from a whole smorgasbord of different vibrational timelines and choose which one we are going to decode through our physical body, our physical senses into a physical reality. Each person's physical reality combines to create the consensus reality. It's a very special place. Like the organic matrix is incredible. Over top of it, as you were saying, is overlaid this false matrix of lies and manipulations. They're both like on the crude systemic level, like you're describing, like, banking in the way that money, even the concept of money is so manipulated, but also just the way that people have to move through systems. Like, what the fuck are fluorescent lights? What is 9 to 5? What is this shit? What are we doing? What is this segmentation of time that we're forcing ourselves to adhere to? Why are we going against the natural rhythms of this environment? It makes no sense. So there's so many layers of the false matrix to
You're so
entrap us
right.
and remove us from a direct interactive experience with the fullness of what this realm could be. So we get trapped in this little like spider web within a greater, it is kind of like a snow globe. Like there is a firmament here. We're in a
I
globe
agree.
system. And the greater closed system is a beautiful thing. The spider web is meant to harvest off of us and keep us at a level of like mediocrity at best, which to me is one of the most depressing parts of it. If you think about, I mean, if the reports are true, I don't know how many, like they say that there's multiple billions of people on Earth. I don't know. Maybe there are, maybe there aren't. I have no idea. I personally can't verify that one way or the other.
I agree.
There are enough people here that there are a lot of people here, whatever the number it is. And if you think about how many of us reach mediocrity at best, it's fucking depressing. It's so sad. We have so much potential and we can't even, like one of the most frustrating things is as I hear these words coming out of my mouth, I'm like, I'm only scratching the 10% surface of what I understand and can't convey to you because they've taken away our ability to interact telepathically. It's so frustrating.
I'm in, dude. I'm in.
We're
I
capable of
agree.
so much. We're capable of so much. And this realm is designed for us to be able to interact and feel the fullness, like to be able to fully spread our wings and revel in basically what God has gifted us, which I believe when it is said that we are made in the image of God, it is that we are capable of creating. We are not the supreme creator, but we are an important part in the creation process. We can choose which timeline. So, kind of back to your point about abundance versus scarcity, this realm like this whole universe is a universe of more. It only operates on more. There is no such thing as less. The tricky part is that whatever you focus on becomes more. So if a scary thought such as scarcity is implanted in us, and then there are events that manufacture a perceived experience of scarcity that we experience as trauma and we embed it in our DNA. and we pass it down generationally in the stories in our worldview, we will believe that scarcity is true. And we will focus our attention on scarcity and create more scarcity. Not because it is an absolute truth, but because that's how we work. That's how we work. We are the ones who are manifesting. We are choosing in every moment what we're giving our attention to, and that thing is becoming more. And as it becomes more and more and more, we start to decode it through our senses, and we manifest actual experiences that reflect it back to us. But we don't realize that's what we're doing. So we just think we're just like helpless victims in a crazy, uncertain world. But I mean, that's why they feed us so much shit through their like visual propaganda, like in our entertainment media and our news media and our music, like all they feed us the things that they want to plant in the fertile soil of our psyche so that we then believe it and we perceive it and decode it and it becomes manifested. And then we just think this is reality and it's all that's possible. It's all that there is. And meanwhile, they're harvesting off of our energy while we reach mediocrity at best.
I totally agree. Hey guys, real quick, I'll tell you about our good friends at divinelawmasterclass.com. Listen, all right, my fellow conspiracy realists, pay close attention because what I'm about to share with you might be the most important shift you ever make in how you protect your family, your mission, your money in this collapsing clown world. There's a free online event called Divine Law Masterclass, and if you're an entrepreneur, creator, or anyone who builds something that actually matters, you need to be there. Why? Because your LLC, your trust, your contract, they're just paper in a Babylon filing cabinet. And if you're still operating under man's jurisdiction, then I hate to say it, but everything you've built is exposed to the lawsuits, the asset seizures, to systematic collapse. This masterclass is about stepping out of that system and back under divine law. You'll learn how to legally and lawfully reposition your assets under heaven's jurisdictions. Shield your business and assets using a powerful Trinity Model 508C1A private membership association and ecclesiastical trust, okay? And most important, align spiritually so your legacy isn't just protected on paper, but it's protected by covenant, okay? They're breaking down the single spiritual error most high-performing leaders make that leaves their life work wide open to Babylon's claws. This isn't a legal loophole. This is kingdom jurisdiction. This is how you become unseizable. I'm in, dude. I'm listening to this. I'm in. Go register now at divinelawmasterclass.com. It's 100% free, but the seats are filling up really fast. Again, that's divinelawmasterclass.com. Don't wait till it's too late. Don't wait. Don't just wake up and get covered. If you're paying attention, you know that de-dollarization is real. Fiat is fake, and you don't want to be left holding the bag when the dollar collapses. Gold and silver has been money through all of recorded history and are an excellent way to protect yourself from inflation and geopolitical turmoil. That's why I trust my friends at Wise Wolf Gold and Silver for all things precious metal. Veteran-owned and an A+ rating by the Better Business Bureau. No transaction is too big or too small, and you can even roll over your 401k or IRA into physical gold and silver. And if you think you can't afford precious metals, think again. With the Wolf Pack monthly membership program, you can get gold and silver delivered directly to your door for as little as $50 a month. Wise Wolf Gold and Silver also deals in and accepts Bitcoin. So go to samtripoli.gold, promo code tinfoil at checkout to receive free constitutional silver. And remember, in the world of bulls and bears, be the wolf. They have created a world of instant gratification, and they've convinced us instant gratification is the way to go. And anything that is instant is not good. I mean, it's just not, whether you enjoy it or not. You know, it's like it's probably not the best fast food, one night stands, all that stuff. It's, even though that you enjoy them while they're happening, but really it's like, what energy are you putting out?
Yeah.
And it's black magic, the food you're eating, 90 Day Fiance, all these crap shows that we all like to watch. And I do. I wouldn't, it's not a crap show, but it's definitely like, it's like just add water instant TV, which is, um, Ink Master. It's not a lot of depth to
There's
that
no
show.
nutritional value. Yeah, it's not
There's no
anything to your
nutritional
life.
value to Ink Master.
Yeah.
And even the things that should be have nutritional value, they've made garbage.
Yeah.
Like that show that we were talking about, Johnny, on Apple TV. I
Pluribus?
liked it at first. With the one for me, what's it
Pluribus, right?
called?
Pluribus, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's fallen off for me. It started great, and
Yeah.
it's just not this. I mean, but and then they have to insert a I don't know if you saw
I haven't seen the
the
latest.
South Park
Oh.
sketch about put a chick in it, make her gay. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
The famous thing, Amy, where it's like, like, put a chick in, make her gay. It was so funny. And you're like, well, that's kind of mean. And then you study like Apple Television, and literally they can't cram enough lesbians into Apple Television TV. It's like everything has 1,000 lesbians in it. And with teach their own, I don't give a shit, but it's definitely like it's social programming.
For sure.
It's social programming, instant gratification. I want to choose my words here because I don't care if somebody's gay. I have gay friends. I don't really care. It's not my, but it's like pushing of a certain lifestyle that
A
I think
non-procreative lifestyle.
a non-procreative lifestyle. Again, if you got to be you. That's my opinion.
I
So
agree
I'm not going to
completely.
judge.
And using it as a vehicle for, like, it's almost like, have you heard of the omnibus bills that they pass in Canada? So it's like, so just pushing, say, like a lot of lesbians on Apple TV shows or on the trans agenda, for example. And I agree with you completely. I love everybody. I respect your right to be self-determining. That it is
Yes.
so important. Like, I don't have any moral judgment against anything anybody does unless it hurts children. Like, that's it, So it's like they take a valid experience that people might be having. Yes, you can question your identity and you're allowed to decide how you want to identify. That's totally fine. And who you want to love, who you want to sleep with, what kind of things you want to do on your own time. So they take that, which we can all, most of us, many of us, maybe that's a better way of putting it, can agree is fine in and of itself. And then they use it like an omnibus bill and they attach all these other meanings and context
okay.
to it so that we are like, if somebody is watching these Apple TV shows with at least one lesbian in it, and they consider themselves to be liberal and progressive and like part of the solution, which I think is the big weak point. It's the big weak point to want to be part of the solution and not want to see yourself as part of the problem. So they're watching it and they're like, oh, look at me. I'm such a good person. I support gay people, I support trans folks, I support, this and this and that. Like, there's all these connotations attached to it that aren't actually part of, like, whether somebody is a lesbian or not, or whether somebody is trans or not. Like, they attach all these little things for you to identify with so that they can get their slimy agenda through. Do you know what I mean? Like,
No, 100%. This reminds me, I just did Adam Carolla, and he has a conservative woman come on, and she said she saw a bumper sticker that said like proud parent of a let's say junior high school student that cares, that cares, not that like it is like Dean's List or anything, that cares. What does that mean? What does that mean? I'm a proud parent of a student that cares. What does that even mean? Like, it goes back to your like solution. I want to be part of the solution. Well, the last person that had a solution was Hitler. I mean, that doesn't really make any sense, right? I mean, like, what are we talking about here?
That's it. They're Trojan horsing in a solution that people are agreeing to little by little because they don't realize what they're really agreeing to. Because it's one thing to feel like, yeah, I am a proud parent of a junior high student that cares. but not really realizing where that message is leading. Like leading you as the parent and leading your junior high student. Do you know what I mean? Like it's so
No,
manipulative.
100%.
And I think
100%.
they're weaponizing empathy. Because part of this spiritual awakening is a heart opening where we like the veils of separation are beginning to dissolve and we are starting to remember that we are all one being. Like we are all cells in the same organism. The false matrix is a cancer. It's a cancerous tumor that the cells refuse to die. Their blueprint has become corrupted. The cells refuse to die. And they start hijacking all the resources, all the capillary networks to take away energy from the healthy cells and to feed the constant growth of this cancerous tumor. But we're still all cells in one organism. And we're starting to remember that. And we're starting to have this like empathic softening and opening where we naturally feel more grace and compassion for each other, but without the context, the intellectual context to be able to navigate the intensity of suddenly having a lot of empathy. And so there's this like, the false matrix has designed a really brilliant solution, which is like, here, ally yourself with these political views to help you feel like you can channel all that empathic energy rather than turning it inward and dissolving the walls and the barriers and the separation and the self-judging and the like working on the forgiveness that you have to find for yourself and then extending that to others, working on like healing and accepting the parts of yourself that you've been rejecting and then extending that to others. They make it like something outside of you, so you feel really very vulnerable because suddenly
Yes.
you have a lot of empathy but you don't know how to contextualize it. It's fucking uncomfortable. And then they're blasting images of Palestine at you all the time, which is just one of many images, like very, very distressing images that are being blasted at empathic people who just ultimately want to be good people and want to see peace in the world. And then they're offering the solution that if you identify this way politically, or you consider yourself an ally or give your support to this group or that group, that's all that's needed. Like that's how to channel this energy. But those are just surface level sort of like it's like a way of abdicating your own responsibility in a way. Do you know what I mean? Like what good for you. You have a child that cares. That's great. What one would hope. But like, why are you broadcasting
What does that
that on
even
your
mean, though?
sticker?
What does that even mean that he
And
Also,
cares?
how does
What
a
is-
kid feel?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's embarrassing. Like, what?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Hey, dude, I hear you care. You bitch.
So
Right? I mean,
embarrassed.
The poor kid.
like, what are you doing? And it's just like, and like, what do you have to do to achieve that level of caring that your parents have a bumper sticker? Are you the most caring? Do you have a black belt in caring? Like, what does that even mean?
Why
And
is Karen competitive?
why is caring?
True, yeah. Our kid
Who
cares
got the
way more
gold
than
in
your kid.
caring?
Yeah.
And like, how much caring do you have to do? Like, what do you have to care for? Like, what bending over backwards conformity do you have to do? And that's really what it's all about. Like, how much can you conform? How far will you go to conform to the ridiculous agendas?
What year was this, Sam? What year did you see this bumper sticker? Because
I didn't see it. I against all odds with my blown out back and my super shaky legs with that, restless leg syndrome that I had. I went and did Adam Carolla on Monday, and he has a woman who comes in and does the news, and she said she saw that sticker, and I was like,
the only way I could see it is maybe during COVID, that kid wears a mask. Or kid got vaccinated. I'm just wondering where you would give out that sticker as a high school or middle school. Be like, oh, here, your kid cares. And then you put that on the bumper of a car.
yeah, I mean, that could be 100%. We don't know how old that bumper sticker is, but at any point, that's stupid. There's no point in which that was a cool bumper sticker. You're like, right on, man. It's great. You got the most precious kid. Your kid cares the most. High fives. It's so stupid. But, so much of it is about, it's like, the guy who wrote 1984, what is his name, Johnny? Johnny's our local chat GPT.
Orwell.
Orwell. People said he was like CIA or FBI. So like, was he really predicting the future or just explain to you what was going to happen? You know, but he talks about, and I never get the quote completely right, but it's basically, getting you not to believe your eyes, your ears, or the wisdom of your experiences is like their most essential command. And that's kind of what the progressive movement is about, is like getting you not to believe your eyes, your ears, or the wisdom of your experiences. And they want you to just conform. And, just like when you have women, like I saw this female doctor on a show, she's getting interviewed, and she said with a straight face, I think she had stepped down from being a doctor, but she was a practicing doctor at one point, that men could give birth to children. And you go, that's the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life, And you go, why is she on television? Why are there people who called out COVID that got ran into the dark realms? But here's a woman who is saying the most obviously stupid shit with a straight face because she conforms. It's all about pushing this conformity. And it's also about always putting you in a state of high anxiety. And that's really a big part of the dark arts is, we've had many guests come on our show and talk about how the human animal is the only animal that is constantly in fight and flight all the time, 24/7. And no other animal does that. When an animal has a threat, it runs, it's in flight. And then when that threat is gone, it calms down. Not the human animal. The human animal is constantly being bombarded with things that crank up their anxiety all the time, which is a giant depopulation agenda. It's harder for women to have children or get pregnant when they're in high anxiety. It's just a fact. So it's all of this is exactly what you're talking about. It is, and just think about how powerful the progressive infection is. That, and I'm an old school liberal. Like progressives like flew right past me a long time ago, way down there. There's people on the right that think I'm a crazy person because I say I'm an old school liberal, but to me that's just in the middle common sense. Live and let live. Whatever you want to do in your house with consenting adults, as long as you're not hurting people, and particularly children, I don't give a shit. But in public spaces, we're all going to be civil. That's what we've gotten away from, civility. Everyone chill out. Don't bring your bullshit to the fucking food court at the mall. Chill out. That's where I'm at. But it's just, what was I talking about? I just forgot where I was going with that, but it was pretty deep. But the point, that the progressivism is so powerful that it gets people to go against their own primal urges, their own primal directives. It's like feminism with women having babies. The way, the mindset, the throwing in of chemicals with all these medications that women are taking. I mean, the way you see women talk about children, I never saw that way back in the day.
It's like Inception. It's like they did. You know how the idea of Inception was that if you can get them to think they came up with the idea, that it's that much more powerful. And they've really done that with an entire generation, made them really feel like it's not in their best interests to.
But the way women talk about children.
Yeah, like it's an anchor. Yeah, like a career anchor.
Not only anchor, but just like nasty. It's like I've never seen that before. It's so against what females have been about since the dawn of time. It's crazy to me. So you have this mindset and then these chemicals just working together. It's just crazy to me, dude. But it's so strong.
They've been playing the long game with this. Like again, we're all journeying together through a long arc story. A very long arc story. Like this isn't new. This is just where we are. Like this is where the pin is in the timeline, but they've been seeding us with this for so long and implanting these thoughts with these programs like the example you're offering of women speaking so just against their nature about children, which regardless of whether you want to have children or not, like I don't, everybody can decide. It's a very personal, big deal
Right,
decision.
right,
It definitely
right.
changes your life. So I'm also not saying that everybody should have children, but why would humans talk about children in negative ways? Like it's so anti-nature. It's so bizarre.
It's all anti-nature.
They
Yeah.
embed these little seeds of thoughts within us, and then they fertilize those thoughts with trauma. So if you kind of look back at like I think what you're describing about the way that women are currently, a lot of women are speaking about children is a natural extension of the way that women have spoken about men. And the reason that women have spoken about men is because we have existed in a for a long time in an artificially constructed and imposed system called patriarchy. I do not believe that men are the source of patriarchy. I do not believe that men just decided one day to be fucking assholes and to like view women and children as property and just like dominate. I think this is all given to us. I think it's the way that they work is they elevate one group and they debase another group, and they make it look like the group that is elevated is the one debasing and oppressing the group that is debased, and they cause us to infight constantly all the time so that we start turning inwards on ourselves and sort of like cannibalizing ourselves into to the point now where, as you're saying, like women are speaking in really vile ways about children, about the idea of having children, that like children are some kind of a curse. It's layered on top of true lived experience of like, it domestic slavery or like these things are real. Like the things that people have lived through is real, but I just think it's all manufactured so that human beings are not in connection with our divinity and the divine order of things. And so that we're sort of like, we know we're in that state of fight or flight. We're constantly being threatened all the time, and we don't know who the threat is. And we're offered the solution is that the threat is some other population of human beings, and now you have to fight them. So we just go nowhere. Again, we
Yeah.
rise to mediocrity at best, and we're all of our creative energy is being harvested off of us.
Hey guys, real quick, I want to tell you about our good friends at Helix Sleep. Listen, you spend most of your time sleeping on a mattress, so you got to get the right mattress, and there's no better place to go than Helix Sleep. They take a quick quiz, and bang, before you know it, you have the perfect mattress for your sleep. It's just that simple. And I love my mattress, dude. I love the Midnight Lux. I've been rocking it for a couple years now, and it's a blessing to sleep in that. What do you guys think?
Dude, it's where the magic happens. It's the best mattress I've ever had.
Yeah, same. I've had mine for years and it's still going strong.
Yeah, it's crazy. So if you want to get on the magic happening, this is what you do. You go to helixsleep.com/tinfoil. Okay. You go to helixsleep.com/tinfoil wait for this. You're going to love it, guys. 27% off site wide exclusively for listeners of Tinfoil Hat.
Nice.
That's amazing. That's helixsleep.com/tinfoil for 27% off site wide exclusive for listeners of Tinfoil Hat. Make sure you enter our show name into the post-purchase survey so they know we sent you. Once again, that's helixsleep.com/tinfoil, and we thank them for sponsoring our show. Hey guys, real quick, I'll tell you about our good friends. They are a leader in their industry. They are patriots trying to help America. And that, you know who I'm talking about. The one, the only Blue Chew. That's right, Blue Chew. That's right, American-made company for American boners, for American holes, whatever hole that might be. That's on you there, okay? We love rock hard, patriotic dicks around here, okay? And there's no better place. Listen, Blue Chew makes everything easier. No more going to the pharmacy, waiting in line, having to tell them what's wrong with you. Blue Chew is really simple. You go online, you take their quick survey, you talk to one of their online clinical professionals, and if you're right for it, and I know you are, okay, they're going to send you a package of Mana, okay? That's right. We're talking boner pill, superstar boner pills. Blue Chew, that's right, sent right to your house in a discreet package, okay? Nobody has to know, or everyone can know. And when I get mine, I wave it to all my neighbors, go, guess who's getting lit up tonight? That's right, my lady, okay? And it's got all the ingredients of all the other ones for a fraction of the price. There's no better choice if you're looking for just that Ginsu hard dick, okay? If you're ladies, you want to give her something to talk about, rock her with a Blue Chew dick. And if you're into dudes, go have a good time. So here's what we're going to do. Guys, okay, this isn't about performance. This is about legacy, okay? Or third leg legacy. I wish I was that hung to have a third leg, okay? I'm stumpy, all right? Give her group chat something to talk about, a little rock hard dick to speak about, okay? You know when you lay it down, they're talking about how you get it up. Nothing makes you more of a legend than a little Blue Chew. Discover your options at BlueChew.com. And we've got a special deal for our listeners. As always, get your first month of Blue Chew free. Just use the promo code TINFOIL at checkout and pay only $5 for shipping. Simple. Done. Okay. Join Blue Chew's mission to upgrade humanity one thrust at a time. Head to BlueChew.com for details and safety info. And guess what? We thank them. All of us. Say thank you.
Thank you, please.
Say thank you.
Thank you so much, Blue Chew.
Thank you, Blue Chew, for sponsoring the show.
I think one of the craziest things ever done is the convincing women that, like, there's things that men do and there's things that women do, right? And, you know, and not saying that they are set and you have to do them or anything like that, but traditional roles, we'll call them. And what, you know, feminism and culture wars have done is convince women that what the men do is the desirable traits and objectives, and that what the women do is slavery and, you know, demeaning. And it's just crazy to me because, you know, like when you talk to, you hear, you know, you watch all these podcasts, they always ask women about, you know, are you going to have family, you have kids? They're like, oh, I just want to focus on my career and all that stuff, which I understand. But when you see these studies where they interview elderly people who are like very close to leaving us, right? They always ask them, what is your biggest regret in life? And universally they say, I work too hard. I work too much. I wish I hadn't worked so much. I wish I would have, you know, spent more time with my family. And I'm kind of going through that right now, just the amount of work I have to do to keep the train on the track, because there's so many people I have to take care of, you know, which I do, you know, I do it because I love it, you know. But you've now convinced a generation of young people that their careers are the most important thing over family, and that you used to work to provide your family, to provide for your family, and now you're just working to work. And it's just crazy to me. And, you know, I know not everyone has the same relationship with their mother. There's always some crazy moms out there. But for the most part, everyone loves their mother. You know, everyone is just so thankful for the kindness that moms have shown them and what they did, you know, and they always love their mom. You know, you don't appreciate your father till you're older, you know, because your dad had to be the discipline. He had to bring the discipline. You know, you don't realize till you get older into the workforce, so you realize what your dad had to deal with. And then you're like, okay, I get it now. Thank you, Dad. But mom is like love from the beginning. She's always there for you. She's always taking care of you. And just the way people look at motherhood now is so insane to me. You know, It's just crazy now. If you're blessed that, one person makes enough money that someone can stay home, that's a blessing. That's a real blessing. I mean, I don't know. You're a woman. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but to be able to, I'm not saying you are a stay-at-home mom or anything like that, but the question is like, is that slavery to be able to be a stay-at-home mom?
I mean, I can't speak for anybody else, but I'm a stay-at-home mom in the sense that I decided to start this business and start this journey. And so it means I get to work from home. And I do send my kids to a Montessori school 5 days a week. Um, because sometimes I need a break too. So, but I like there have been a
Moms
lot
need
of times.
breaks. Moms need breaks.
Yeah, and there have been a lot of times over the last few years where I've found myself in the same situation as you, Sam, because I haven't managed my money well in my younger years. So I didn't set myself up to be able to stop working when I had kids. And I mean, I like the domestic arts, you could call them. I like cooking, I like cleaning, I like keeping a nice house.
Domestic arts. I love that,
I
dude.
like
Did
doing
you
that
come up
stuff.
with that? That's great.
I like doing that stuff, and that's just me. And I'm not saying everybody should because I do, but I like doing it. And having children is the greatest blessing. But I'll say, like, my dad, sadly, my dad died suddenly in July. He
Oh,
just,
I'm sorry to hear that.
yeah, and like dad, dad and mom, they matter. Family, our connections of love are everything. Like, love is fucking everything. And the present moment with the love you have and the blessings you have is everything. And that is the way out of this insane matrix. And I am really fortunate because I had spent the 5 days, my dad's 5 last days of life with him, and I didn't know. I had no idea. I just had this intuitive sense for the whole first 6 months of the year that I had to slow down, even if it meant making less money, like a lot less money, not knowing how I was, necessarily going to pay all the bills, but just trusting they would get paid. And I had to slow down and I had to prioritize what really matters rather than prioritizing money. And one of the choices I made was to go hang out with my parents for 5 days while they were looking after my niece and nephew. And I took my kids too. And we had an amazing time together. It was so much fun. And when I said goodbye to my dad at noon on the Friday, I had no idea that the next time I would see him would be his dead body on a gurney in a hospital room at 7:30 the next morning. And
Wow.
I'm so grateful that I listened to that intuitive sense that I had inside that the 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 money isn't as important and there will be it'll get itself figured out, but that being with the people I love is what is important, and that's the organic matrix. The money programs we're running on are so messed up, and they are so deeply ingrained and so connected to lived experiences, but manufactured lived experiences of scarcity, that they pull us out of the present moment, and that's all we ever have is right now. Like, this moment that I get to share with the three of you is it's such a blessing. It's such a gift. This conversation is such a huge gift, and we take the present moment so for granted. We take our opportunity to connect with people that we love, that we get along with, that we care about, even strangers. We take it for granted as though there's something outside of us to chase because that's what we're constantly being fed. But really, at the end of the day, like you were saying with the old people, like when you get to the end and you know you don't have much time left, like chasing money or carving out like something big for yourself in your career, those kind of things don't mean as much as the opportunity to just sit and be with somebody that you care about. There's, like we have this choice all the time between the false matrix and the organic matrix, and it's pretty simple. But it's so simple that it's hard to miss, or it's easy to miss it because it,
Yeah.
it feels too simple in a
Yes.
way.
I have an uncle right now passing away with cancer. No kids. Guess who's by his side? My mom. And that's only when she can, because that's not his daughter. That's just like his sister. And every once in a while I have to call my mom, like, hey, where are you? I'm here with your uncle. And it's so sad because I'm sure at this moment in time he maybe wish he had kids. He's got money, he's got a nice truck, insurance is paid for, but who's going to feed him? Who's going to be on his last 5 days? My mom might be there the last day, right before, but who's going to be like you said,
100%. 100%, dude. That's a really big thing, and some people just don't realize that. Especially like seeing what Dana's mom is going through. Like if she didn't have Dana, she'd be completely effed. I mean, everyone's on there. When I didn't have kids, I defended not having kids, and I still think you have the right not to have kids. But I'm telling you, man, it's so funny when you listen to people try to convince themselves they made the right decision. Now, if you can't have kids, I understand that. If it's like biologically you can't, you can always adopt. It's a blessing. Yes, there are crazy times where you're just because you're domesticating wild animals. That's really what you're doing. You're domesticating them, trying to get them ready to go into the real world so they don't just completely flame out. That's the whole thing. You got to teach them the ways of society, how to play the game of life. And that's part of the blessing. Like the other day, we were reading a book with my daughter and she was just crushing it. And it was like so amazing to like not have to go through and help her spell it out and then sound it out. And she was just like, bang, 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 bang. I was like, Dana was watching. We were blown away. It was like so cool when you see these little moments and you get robbed of those things. Again, and listen, here's the whole thing. You don't have to have kids. We're having a population problem. Our population is shrinking almost everywhere. Almost everywhere. The West, Asia, the numbers are way down. And it's just sad. And what's really sad is that so many of the brightest and the best are deciding not to have children. Mm-hmm. Like, what great innovators are we missing out on? What brilliant minds aren't going to be able to contribute to society because you didn't want to have a kid? Because let's face it, you think the party's going to last forever. That's really what it is. You like the party, you like to go, you like the calls to come to the club, you like to do all that. It comes to an end. And it doesn't mean people don't like you, and it doesn't mean you're not a good person. It just means everyone's life is getting smaller because they had kids and they got to focus on the next generation. They're not going to the club anymore. They're not doing, like I was in Vegas with XG and his girlfriend, and they were just fucking out all night all the time. And they're like, you want to come with us? This is how bad it was. They got pizza with pineapple on it. They were just living on the edge out there. I was like, oh, you got pizza with pineapple on it? Nope, I'm going to bed. Bye. And I spent my entire Saturday in my bed with a bad back and restless leg syndrome. But these guys are out here fucking just cranking it up. It comes to an end, dude. And it's like, what are you going to do when the phone stops ringing? Where are you going to get your interaction from? And that's all I got to say. And it just sucks that, so many talented, bright people decide not to have children. It just makes me really sad because yes, there are chaotic moments. When you have Chelsea Handler talking about when she sees a kid acting up at the airport, she's so thankful. I'm like, you're literally taking like a small little snippet of time, comparing it to all the wonderful blessings that happen all the time, the kindergarten graduations, the all that stuff that are just you're such a blessing to be a part of. And like I'm more interactive than my dad was. My dad was a great dad. He wasn't perfect. He made a lot of mistakes, but he tried his best. But I'm way more interactive than my father. It's like I'm there for everything all the time, and it's a blessing.
I just think that it's like like kind of to what you were saying about Chelsea Handler, like we've been engineered to no longer see the divinity in other people and to not see the divinity. Well, we don't see the divinity within ourselves, which means by extension, we don't see the divinity in other people. We don't see the divinity in children, when for people who are speaking about it in that way, as though the sum total of that child, as you're saying, is a temper tantrum moment in an airport, as opposed to what you were saying, like all these little, like their tiny little fingers and the way that the freckles, speckle across their cheeks, and the moment when they're reading their book, and like all this accumulation of beautiful, miraculous moments that every single person is. And it's just sad that we've been, that we're so focused on all the bullshit when there's so much beauty and magic and abundance around us all the time, no matter what our circumstances are. We're in the organic matrix. Everything we need is here. We could choose to focus on that. It is fully possible to focus on that. But there are many distractions that are put in our face for the purpose of keeping us, at a lower frequency and a devolved consciousness.
It's just super interesting because again, it's like, this instant gratification versus like this long process of to achieve. Like, and I think anything worth anything is going to take time. Like to get a black belt in jujitsu, it takes like 10, 15 years, But if you want to go down to Y karate and go down to the Y and take karate there, you can get a black belt in like 3 years because it's meant for children. You got to keep them involved. So you got to keep giving them belts and all this stuff. Anything worth anything is worth going through it, And that's what people don't understand, the instant gratification of not having kids because you can smoke a joint in the morning or, drink vodka at noon is just really missing out on a lot of the greatness that is this realm we live in. And it just each their own. But I just, are you going to look back with regret? And I guarantee you are. And it's just teach their own, dude. You're robbing your grandchildren, your parents of grandchildren. You're robbing yourself of a future. It's super interesting. But I want to get into now.
And before you're done, and even something to do, like for me, like I go out, I go to festivals and stuff. But at the end, am I gonna be 40? Like it sounds weird, but like eventually, I want to wake up early where my kids like, hey, let's go to my soccer game. And I'm kind of like that different. Like that's different, but it's just like happy in a different kind of way instead of like, oh, I watched the same music festival, the same artist again. It's like just going to a soccer game and taking the kids there seems like a different things, different kind of fun.
You're going to be at the EDM concerts like Matthew McConaughey. You know what I love about EDM girls? I get older, they stay the same age, just creeping out everybody. But yeah, so let's get into dimensions and the firmament because you brought up the firmament. You believe we live under a firmament.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
me too.
I think the firmament is ultimately, we perceive it as a barrier, but like if you were to understand all of the dimensions as a spectrum similar to the electromagnetic spectrum. So, in the electromagnetic spectrum, it's like a continuum of electromagnetic waves, right? And they go on the one end from being like very, very long stretched out waves to on the other end being very short, compressed waves. And we see in the tiny little sliver that is the visible light spectrum. And even within that tiny little sliver, it's the difference in the wavelengths that determines whether we see it as red or orange or yellow or green or blue or indigo or violet, whatever. So our ability as human beings to detect those wavelengths is what determines the firmament. The firmament, I don't believe that it is a real solid. We experience it kind of as solid, but it's not necessarily a real solid, impermeable surface. It's almost like the outside of the bubble of the electromagnetic spectrum of the dimensions that we are able to, decode and exist within. And yet the spectrum continues on either side of that barrier. I believe that part of this awakening and ascension experience is that more of our consciousness is coming on board, which allows us to go beyond the third and fourth dimension and into, well, it's said in sort of like the spiritual world, it's said like into the fifth dimension, but as soon as you get through the fourth dimension into the fifth dimension, you get access to all of them. They're all there. They're all there. Like we're surrounded by it all the time. We're just limited to what we can actually decode here, if that makes sense. So the firmament is the experience of separation that comes from the level of consciousness that we have where we're really immersed in this realm and we believe in this realm. And the dark entities, whatever, the archons, they can't get out of here. So the firmament is more solid to them than it is to us because they can't get
Oh,
beyond
that's
that
interesting.
separation. So we are capable of going beyond the separation. The way you do it is to start to drop into your heart and be in heart consciousness. That shifts and expands the frequencies that you're able to detect and decode. So as you shift into heart consciousness, you almost like it's almost like passing through the mirror. Like the surface of the mirror becomes like a plasma rather than a solid thing.
I got you. Yeah.
You pass through it and like all of it's almost like waking up from a nightmare. Like all of these fragments of your own consciousness start to come back online, and you basically like, man, it's so hard to have this conversation when I don't have like 50 podcast episodes behind me to lay the foundation. It's it's like you the barrier was never real. It was like a glass ceiling. Like when they're talking about the glass ceiling and trying to get through, they're trying to cheat. They're trying to get there without having to go through the heart. They want out of here without having to pay the tab. To the payment at the gate of this firmament is the reconciliation of all the shit that you have ever done here and all of the damage that you've ever created, as well as the assimilation of all of the wisdom that you've earned through your experiences. It's like it all consolidates. It's no longer fragmented. It all comes back to you. You have this massive enlightenment moment, and then you're no longer trapped here. And you can move, like I believe our bodies even extend beyond this vibration. It's just that we've been they need to keep us here in this closed system where their battery, where their food source, they've separated themselves from the greater source that sustains all of us, which is love. I know it sounds like so cheesy and kumbaya, but there's a reason it sounds cheesy and kumbaya. It's because it's the truth. And they don't want us to know that. They want it to sound cheesy and like hippie bullshit. But that love, like I was, talking about with those moments with my dad, those are the things that sustain us. That's the real thing that nourishes you on all levels. They have separated themselves from that. They don't experience it at all. They are therefore sort of trapped in this little bandwidth of the third and fourth dimension, and they need to manipulate our consciousness to keep looping around and cycling around here with them too, so that they can harvest off of our energy and use us to manifest a version of reality that suits them, wherein we are essentially like slaves and prisoners.
I agree. I totally agree with all that. That's a very interesting take on the firmament with it's solid to them. That makes total sense to me.
And it's solid to us until we like merge into that fully like self-actualized consciousness. Like it's an illusion, but like every illusion here, it appears solid, So it's sort of like
Yes.
kind of like going to the Matrix movie with that little kid who's like, is it the spoon that bends or is it the mind or whatever he says? It's kind of like that. Like there is it's all malleable. Like nothing, like everything that appears to be physical to us here is only physical because our bodies are designed to process it that way. Like it's ultimately just energy. It's all of it is ultimately just vibrational patterns. And then we interact with it and like my electrons bounce off of this desk. And so this desk has a different sort of geometric fundamental template of arrangement than my body. And so our electrons bounce off of each other and it appears that the desk is solid and that I am solid, but it's all just vibration.
I completely agree with all that. I completely agree with all that. Um, so you kind of brought it up the 5D, but what do you think is the way out? Is it just through Christ consciousness? Is that what you're saying? And what does that mean to you?
Yeah, it is. It's through the heart. The heart is a portal. Um, you know those the images in like Catholic, Christian and Catholic iconography of Jesus, and he's pointing at his heart. His heart is all
Yeah.
aflame and he's pointing at his heart,
Yeah.
two fingers, and he's pointing up with two fingers. It's coded. It's telling us that the way out of here is through the heart. So you go into your heart and the whole illusion of separation dissolves. And it's a practice, like we haven't been there in such a long time. We've very much been in an experience of separation where you can compartmentalize yourself from somebody else, and you can like be a dick to somebody else and walk away and dust your hands as though there's no ramifications to you. But the truth is there are ramifications. That's what karma is. Like, it's cause and effect. We're all one being. So going into the heart allows you to resolve whatever fragmentation continues to exist in your own psyche and your own identity and your own perception of self. And it dissolves the illusion of separation so that you can be here without being trapped here. So that you can, like, have you ever heard of the term moksha?
No.
It's I believe it's a Hindu concept, a Sanskrit word, I believe, but maybe I'm getting it wrong and somebody will yell at me. But what it means is the ability to transcend the illusion, the ability to get out of here. So it's like the idea that when you die, if you don't know how to achieve moksha, you keep like looping around over and over again, versus when you die and you achieve moksha, you get to like lift up out of here, out beyond the firmament and out back into, the totality consciousness. And we can achieve that without having to die. That, like, I really believe. I'm not a biblical scholar, okay? I've read the Bible, but I'm not like, my realm of expertise is not like scholarly research. So everybody take this with a grain of salt. If it doesn't jive with you, don't worry about it. You don't have to believe me. But I believe that what Jesus, like the ultimate message of Jesus, is that you don't have to be like perceptions of enmity, perceptions of ego, perceptions of scarcity, having to protect yourself, having to compete, all those things keep you here. Whereas accepting God, becoming one with God, like the divine, total consciousness, seeing abundance, as you said, being in gratitude, being in presence, being in love, is what allows you to dissolve the trappings of this illusion so that you can be here in a body without being stuck here, without being trapped here. So you can move beyond through all of the dimensions, not limited to just these ones and the game that's being played out here. Does it make sense the way I'm explaining it?
Yes, 100%. It does. It does. It resonates with me very much. I want to ask you something. Do you think what is the purpose of life? What is our purpose of our existence?
I believe that, like life, like human life, I believe that it's a mystery school. This is a mystery school. This is a um, highly intricate environment. This is like a graduate level program or postgraduate level program. It's like, it's so advanced. You come here, you have a mortal body, you have a temporary experience. It's very immersive. There is a natural degree of amnesia that comes with it. So you don't remember everything. You don't remember every answer when you come here. There's a challenge. It's like deciding to come into a game, but the game isn't meant to be like horrifically violent and to create like all kinds of unnecessary suffering. But there will be contrast where we do experience like the grief of somebody dying, or we experience, whatever, like falling off a cliff and then you become a paraplegic and your whole entire identity has to shift. Like, there is contrast here, but it's a place for us to ultimately contemplate the deeper mysteries of this reality and what it means to be a consciousness at all, an individual conscious self. It's so wild. Like, what a trip. I think I'm Amy. You think you're Sam. You think you're Johnny. You think you're XG. That's crazy. Like, it's such a wild thing that we're experiencing here. It's like a prolonged hallucination, and we're supposed to acquire wisdom. I believe that's what we're doing here. And, and then on sort of like a more specific to this time level, I believe that a lot of us have come here to have these conversations and to, as I said, piece together the puzzle through these conversations and re-assimilate the fragments of our consciousness that have been like exploded and scattered, so that we can remember who we are, remember that the exit portal is through our own individual hearts. We can't be responsible for anybody else's ascension journey. We can literally only go through our own hearts and find forgiveness and find compassion and find grace for ourselves and by extension others, and become a vibration that matches the edge of the firmament so that we just blend with it and right on through it. I believe that so many of us are here to work together towards a collective goal of enlightenment, to sort of tip the scales in favor of the ascension, as opposed to the dark actors, the archons, the elite who are here to tip the scales in favor of a reset.
Oh, that reminds me of like what is it? What they call that? The flame. What's that flame when you meet someone you've already met, deja vu, all that stuff where you've already lived it
Twin
once.
flame.
Yeah, twin flame. Yeah, I feel like when you meet someone that's a twin flame, where like you just met for like 3 months and you like they're like best friends, where it just reminds me of that like deja vu. You come back, but you don't memorize everything. You hear the little lessons that you haven't already learned.
Yeah, totally.
So is our role? What's the main role? Being a battery for the archons, or is it more to be learn life lessons until maybe our heart is so light, it's lighter than a feather?
Yeah, yes, that's it. That's the real reason. We're being used as batteries for the archons, but that's not why we exist. That's not our purpose. That's just how we're being used right now because we're so unconscious of this process, and unconscious of the manipulations. But yeah, we're here to, I love that way. I think it's the ancient Egyptian way of seeing it, right? Is like your heart becomes lighter than a feather.
Yeah, you get judged.
Yeah, you're not, all that means is like you're not burdened by the unmetabolized experiences and traumas and perceptions and stories like that you lived through, right? So the goal is to live an entire life to its fullest, which will mean something different for everybody. It's not, the goal isn't to live a completely pious and virtuous life. The goal is to live life, to live it and feel it and be in it, but to cultivate increasing lucidity within that experience so that it's not weighing you down. So you're not dying with a grudge against somebody, or like, to be able to sit with your regrets and honor them. Like, we all have regrets. I don't think it's possible to live and not have at least one regret at the end. But like, how do you hold that regret so it doesn't weigh you down, so you don't loop back around to have to live it out another life and go through it all again? How do you metabolize all of it so that you can achieve moksha and exit this realm?
Is that related to that? I've heard it described in various belief systems as kind of a leap out of your body. You like at the end, you're trying to see how high you can ascend. Is that the same concept? I mean, it's like in George Harrison has a song about how high can you leap, and it's talking about at that moment of death. What do you think that? Because I know, I mean, in the Eastern religions, they believe that you kind of had to train for that moment of death. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, by through meditation and things like that. Do you think that that's something maybe we lose in the West also? This idea of preparing ourselves for that moment, or do you think it's maybe less and more important kind of what you do in life and less emphasis on the actual death moment?
I think that I do feel like we lose that sense of like preparation and sort of like I think that's part of a mystery school, like a true like a good mystery school, not one where like knowledge is withheld, but where we understand and we can hold reverence for this whole incarnation experience. Like what a fucking gift what a gift. What a gift this life is. And to be able to see it as such and prepare ourselves with the understanding that it all always comes to an end. Like that is the final destination in an incarnation for all of us, and that there is something beyond it. And how can we orient ourselves to be able to take that leap when the time comes? And then part of that process will include like, our deeds and our acts in this life, but also I don't think the purpose is to be perfect. I don't even think that's a possible state to like in a moment we might be able to achieve perfection, but we can't sustain it. It's not a reasonable goal. The goal is to be a flawed, imperfect human who has free will, but to be so lucid and present in the experience that like we can take all of it and turn it into like pure gold rather than the burdens, the leaden burdens of like grudges and victim consciousness and entitlement and instant gratification and like why didn't it work this way for me? And I say this as somebody who's very human and has those very human reactions as well. And is also subject to the manipulations and the programming of the false matrix. Like I'm pulling those weeds out of my own consciousness all the time.
There's a old saying in recovery, which is resentment is taking poison, trying to get back at somebody else, drinking poison to get back at somebody else. And that's what resentments are. And I can't tell you how many times I've had these resentments that have just driven me only to find out there's no real reason to have that resentment. And it's just like, let it go, let it go, let it go. You win some, you lose some. Don't focus on the losses. Don't get too lost in the wins. And just know this too shall pass. And that's the way to live your life. It's like it's not always going to go your way. It's not always going to be perfect. Sometimes you're going to be the best. Sometimes your best isn't good enough. You just have to go with the flow. It's for me, it's not really the results that matter. It's the journey, right? It's the journey is everything. When you talk to comedians, ones who are way bigger than me, have done way more than I have. When you talk to them about comedy, they tend to want to talk about the old days when they were grinding and doing open mics and playing crazy gigs. It's very rarely a discussion about Madison Square Garden because it's the process. And it's also this kind of crazy thing that, if you really want to understand how important the process is, how many of these kind of like Nepo baby CIA plants make up fake stories about how hard they had it back in the day, not telling you how much of a, trust fund kid they are. It's like Lana Del Rey's like, I was prostituting myself. And then you find out her father was a billionaire, or Jules like, I had to sleep in my car. You're like, yeah, one day maybe because you were being stubborn, right? It's just, it's the whole, I've only heard one person ever say how easy they had it. That was Jack Black. And then you find out his like parents worked in like NASA and rocket propulsion and all that stuff. It's like, it's really crazy to me, but it's the process and you have to enjoy the process. And with process comes losses and hurt and pain, and you have to digest it. Like I always tell new people in recovery, it's like the universe warns you and then it shows you. Like it's going to warn you a couple times you're going down the wrong path. And then maybe and then it's going to show you. And sometimes that it's a simple showing like, hey, dude, you fucked up. And sometimes it's a really bad one and you're not going to come back from it. It's like I have a friend of mine. He's a good friend. His baby's mama's son got drunk and killed 3 people in a car crash. And it's like, I guarantee you that wasn't the first time he had driven drunk. And first time he wasn't warned that it was a stupid thing to do. And now he has to spend most of his life in jail now because he didn't hear the warnings of the universe saying, don't do this. And that's the key to life is, again, being open-minded to what the universe is telling you. And going back to our discussion earlier about people being on so many drugs, they work against their own best interest. It's called suicidal empathy. It's like when you vote against your best interest. We just saw that in New York City. We see that all the time in California. They just vote against their best interest. Like, get rid of the cops, empty the jails. You're like, what are you, stupid? And then they, like, 2 weeks later, they complain about crime is everywhere. It's like suicidal empathy. That's it. But it's like they're putting you on so many drugs right now to kind of numb you out to the universe talking to you. I really do believe anxiety, depression, anger, all that stuff is the universe talking to you, trying to tell you you're not on the correct path of your life. You're going the wrong way. And then instead of listening to the universe, people try to numb themselves out so they can continue down the path that the universe doesn't want them on.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Totally.
kind of how I see everything going, dude. It's kind of crazy, dude. It's it's like you got to keep shit simple, man. The simpler it is, the easier it is. The more you try to just try to crank it up, like in just in your life with dating and partying and doing whatever it is to get successful, it always comes back and catches you, dude. It always bites you in the ass every time. And one thing I learned earlier is that, like, if someone does you wrong, it's like very easy to take it personal. But what I've learned in life is that if they're doing that to you, they're probably doing it to everybody, and it's most likely a drive-by. And you caught a rando bullet. But it will all come out in the wash. If they're doing that to everybody, it will eventually catch up with you. If you're not walking the path of kindness and showing love to everybody, it will catch up with you eventually. And it may not be you, it may be your children, it may be your family members. I mean, look at all these super elites and how fucked up their kids are.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that's because they pass the buck to their kids. Like, it's so that mentality is so, like, toxic to the extreme. It's like the extreme ego. The ego that is completely unchecked and out of control, the self that is like, I'll just pass it down. I'll kick the can down to my kids so they can deal with it rather than, dealing with it,
Yep.
metabolizing
Yep.
myself.
Yep. Yep. I had a friend, I talked to him about that. About, like, I forget what it was. It was something about economic plans or something like that. I forget the exact discussion, but it was about, like, it's going to do incredible damage to future generations. He's like, well, is it going to do anything else now? I go, probably not. He goes, well, I don't care. I'm like, dude, that's such a fucking narcissistic, selfish view of how to operate in this realm.
Yeah, it totally is. And it's like the crazy thing is really, like, we are our children. We are each other. The idea that this is the only time right now and that, like, we don't have to deal with the ramifications later on is just like just total self-delusion.
Yeah.
Each and every one of us at some point, we do have to sort of like, you know, be judged, like experience that judgment. And I don't think it's sort of like, God as a person is going to judge us. It's more like it's almost like the dream. This is a crazy, like, hyper vivid fever dream of some higher consciousness, and
Yes.
we're all characters in that dream. Well,
Yeah.
someday, at some point, that dream is going to end. That dreamer is going to awaken. And it's like, as all that consciousness reassimilates, every little tiny bit that any of us has ever done, like, that's what the Akashic records are. It's just holding the record of all that. It
Oh,
exists. It goes
damn.
on and on and on and on and on forever. And it's all going to reassimilate. And we will all have to sort of like face, the accumulation of everything that we have ever participated in and everything that we have created. And so we might as well just get on with the process right now and just get real with ourselves right now and start being like truly good to each other, not just voting for socialism because you don't understand what socialism actually means and
Yeah.
what they're truly trying to sell you, and then telling or giving up your like frappuccino at Starbucks because you're boycotting Jews because Like those things don't make you a good person. That none of that is meaningful. What's meaningful is like reconciling your shit inside of yourself and then acting newly from there, from that reconciliation.
I agree, Amy. I agree. Great episode, man. Wonderful episode. Thank you so much. Amy, it was great to have you on. You have an open door anytime. I love our conversations. This is like an old school tinfoil hat. We've had a couple lately, and I love these episodes. I think these are important. We could always talk about what's wrong with the world, but we need to also discuss how to fix ourselves so we don't get lost in the false matrix. So I
Yeah.
think this is a great one. So one more time, Amy, tell them where they can find you.
Yeah, the easiest place to find me is at Third Eye Awakening Podcast. You can find my website, amybelair.com, and I have a new free masterclass called Fuck the False Matrix. If anybody wants to check it out, it's totally free, and I just go like really deep into how the whole thing works and how to get out of it. Thank you
Amy,
so
it was
much for having
great.
me, guys.
I'm sorry about your dad passing. That's sad to hear. We love
Thanks.
you very much. You have an open door to come on any other time, and we appreciate you. Let's break down the episode. All right, what do you guys think about Amy Belair?
This game
great.
zero vibes. Remember your podcast Zero? That's exactly what I felt.
Yeah, that's why I discovered her. She came
She's
on the
not
show.
the first woman to give you zero vibes. Actually, you know.
That's so true, dude. That's so true, dude. So funny. She's great, man. You know, it's such a, both this episode and the episode we're putting out after are just like, how deep does the realm go? Like, how deep, how layered is it? If you're fighting over Republicans and Democrats, you're just doing basic bitch shit.
Yeah.
It's basic bitch shit.
Lost. Yeah.
It's so deep. There's so many like layers of deceit and treason and just satanic worship. It's just like so dark. And they're just running psyop after psyop after psyop on us, right?
Totally.
Hey guys, if you go to samtripoli.com, you can find my dates for my shows. I got Minneapolis coming up. Then we got New Year's Eve at the Dojo of Comedy. And then Word War Debate is coming together nicely. Our lineup should be out very soon. It's going to be fire. So we're very excited. Just go to samtripoli.com to grab all those. And that is January 10th. If you go to my website, all my dates are there. All my fire is there. Go down. When I can, I'm putting out 3 episodes a week on my premium content. Quick, easy, fun, hard-hitting, current event stuff. That's where you find that. Johnny, talk about Cash Daddies.
Yeah, Howie is. He's one of the smartest dumb people we know. He's a genius of finance, and if you would like to benefit from his genius, go check us out at what is it? Patreon.com/cash.
Yeah, I mean, just giving out all the goods. It's unbelievable.
Yeah,
go back to samtripoli.com.
That's the free stuff. Imagine if you pay for it. It's even better.
That's the free stuff. Go down. Chaos Twins, get in on it. It's getting finished. Join me. I'd love to have some more people jump on that. It's very important. Check it out. If you want family friendly content, there you go. And then of course, all of our t-shirts. Yep, PSYOP season. Hey, XG, what'd you think about the new secret shirt? Don't say what it is. What'd you think about it?
It sold out, and I had to take one. So it's amazing.
Dude, I was posing. Me and Tina were posing in the pizza shop with this woman who had it on. She was very proud of it, and it was nice. It was good. It was good.
Now I don't get one. I wanted one. They're all gone.
Let's sell some on the site, Sam. You got to sell some.
No, I'm not, dude. That's the joke. That's how you do it. You can only get a live show, and you can't see it. Just go to tinfoilhattshirts.com.
He'll take it away, no refund. He'll take it away, no refund.
I will take it away. I will take it away. Just know that. I will take it away if you look at it. Gold and silver, Mineral King. We love you guys. Aquacure, Hydrogen Brown Gas, Harley Rays, Crystals, our good friends at Chemical Free Body. We love them very much. We love them. And then EMF Rocks. And talk about Brain Supreme.
Woo-woo. Go get him. It's week on, so go get him. Everybody participate with me on week on.
Okay. Anything you guys got to promote?
Hit that like button, subscribe, and go follow Extreme Marks the Spot. I got a new podcast out. Please go check it out.
Yeah, check
Johnny?
out Broken Simulation. It's everywhere you consume podcasts. We're getting wild. It's getting crazy. Whatever.
It's getting crazy.
Yeah, whatever.
Oh, you guys got Alex Stein on, or you guys called him?
Called him.
Yeah. It was he confirmed or denied. You'll have to listen to find out whether he hit Marjorie Taylor Greene. So it was the
Brother, he
second
crushed
biggest
that
piece of
ass.
news about her this week.
So, and it's really crazy that did she retire before or after, Johnny? I think he retired.
Really? It was after.
She retired right after. So obviously, the show is very powerful.
Yeah, we move markets. We move. We shape government on Broken.
Yeah, Amy Belair said something very interesting. She said a lot of interesting things, but the one thing was about the firmament. Like maybe we can pass through it, but they can't. That's interesting to me.
I agree.
Right? That kind of solves a lot of problems, especially if you're one of those space nerds like Johnny, who's like, space is real. I love it. Well, what about the firmament? Well, now you can go, we can go through it. They can't. They can't.
Yeah.
So that's about it. Anything else, guys?
I thought it was a absolutely wonderful episode. Amy has an open door to come back anytime. She drops bombs. Truth bombs. I wish I could do a longer breakdown, guys, but I've had, we didn't do cash days yet this week. Didn't do doom scrolling. My back is jacked. It's fucked up my sleep schedule. So I'm really sorry about this. So I love you all very much and enjoy these highlights.
Doom scrolled. All I did was fucking enjoy the roasting of Oshkosh Singh. I don't know if you guys know who that is. That is the co-host of Flagrant with Andrew Schultz. And I actually love these fools. I'm a huge fan, but this was... I don't even know. Just play the video. just play it. It's just sad, and I'm just sad. Hopefully I'm not ruining the chance of ever going on Flagrant, but I got to roast you, dog. I got it.
Going on Flagrant.
That's how I ended up in this situation. What I find corny is my preference is not my women. Now, I thought it was I'm not dating my women, period, which is the corniest human being outside of a criminal to me, period.
Akash only dates brown. Akash has been with one girl in his life who is his wife.
That's my wife. That's an Indian woman.
So this is like loyal through and through.
Sometimes I get so painfully nostalgic for college. I was popping my pussy and living my best life in these white boy frat houses.
I'm actively trying to have...
We're gonna cut this video into parts because what?
I don't know.
Bro, popping.
That's so embarrassing.
Okay, she claims to be a virgin. You guys are gonna hear more about this female. She's a Middle Eastern. They're both Middle Eastern. I mean, they're both Indian. Yeah, and they both had claimed to be a virgin. Oshkosh was 32 when he supposedly lost his virginity to homegirl, but I really think Oshkosh did. She didn't, because she was 22 when she lost it. Talking about popping her pussy.
Yeah.
Chili, have you ever popped your pussy?
I didn't understand that part at all. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? But she says she's a virgin. She's saying that she's holding on to it. But how are you going to say you're a virgin if you're saying like, oh, I missed like college and I was popping my pussy?
Okay. I was about to say, when you hear as a female, when you hear one of your homegirls or back in your day when you were younger, you hear a girl say, I was popping my pussy.
I don't know, dude.
Is there any chance she just meant I'm going to the club and dancing? Because that's what I'm hearing. That's what she's gonna say. I guarantee you, she's gonna talk about. Oh, I was just at the club. I used to go to the frat parties and I was just popping my pussy. But I
don't get it. To be honest, I don't understand. Either way, that's still embarrassing.
That's embarrassing.
Like your husband's literally saying like, oh, she was a virgin, like la la, we waited, and all this prideful shit, and then she's like, I miss being a whore in college at 22.
Yeah, because she's not talking like, oh, I'm nostalgic from when I used to study really hard.
Yeah.
She's literally talking about nostalgic and then frat boy houses. What happens at frat boy houses?
She said white boy frat boy houses.
White boy. Well, I'll be honest with you. At least I'm not gonna lie. At least it wasn't black guys. Frat houses.
Jesus.
What? If I'm Oshkosh, at least I'll be like, yo, you gotta take your W's when your W's are there, all right, Chili? It's a major L's. Funny. You gotta look at W's. Right now, you can't just look at all the L's. Like,
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, keep playing this video. Also, okay, so they have a podcast called The Main Character, and it's her and her friend. We don't really know who her friend is. I don't think she's like.
But it's two Indian girls, which is kind of weird that they're talking
married.
Like that. Yeah, they're both married, and then they're talking like that. Like you would think that they're found because they live kind of strict.
I mean, yeah, they had. I mean, dude. What's crazy is if you go
if
you go to Oshkosh's profile, YouTube channel, you can see their wedding, and it's your typical, like, $100,000 wedding, Middle Eastern wedding where they got everybody dancing. I'm gonna put that in Middle Eastern. That should be on the soundboard.
I know. Actually, I
that's
have that
gonna be
saved.
a little quick little
send
snippet.
it.
But dude, just okay. Play the rest of this
Okay.
shit because this is just way too good.
Oh, yeah.
Because and you haven't
Rewind,
seen
okay, rewind a
Nav
little bit because I think I missed it too.
This thing sucks.
There it is.
Come on.
I'm actively trying to have an orgy because and you haven't seen Nav yet, but wait till you see him. His body goes crazy. His face card always slays, never declines. And it's kind of weird because I'm talking about your husband. You just know that
That's
Nav's
crazy.
dick is like at least 10 inches. Okay, I have 2 butthole stories.
Bro, stop that. Okay.
One time.
Okay, what the
Pause
dude?
it on the craziest. Or yeah, I want to pause it though. To talk about someone's husband, like that. That's crazy,
Bro, I couldn't-
Like she's not even saying like, "Oh, I want an orgy." It's just like, "Hey, I want an excuse to."
Yeah, dude, I'll be honest with you. I don't even follow.
And, like,
I
his
don't even
dick's bigger
follow
than
my
mine.
homie's girlfriends
Yeah.
out of respect because
Yeah.
I don't even want to like her little
Yeah.
provocative picture that she posted and me
Mhm.
accidentally like it just because I'm liking shit just because I think I'm your friend.
Yeah.
And now I look like I'm hitting on your girl. If there's no reason for me to follow your
Why
girl,
would you follow?
why
her?
am I?
Yeah.
She's over here talking about her husband that she has a podcast with, talking about his card always slays,
Mhm.
his body on point, and then I was like, okay. I thought that was like, all right,
Yeah,
that's
that's a
pasando de
little
verga.
much.
Like that's enough. Chill, girl. I get it. You can say those type of things, but then walk out there and say, I think his dick is 10 inches.
What's crazy is that
That's
she's
wild.
prettier than her friend too. So
Yeah.
like the dude is probably like, dude, like I'll fuck her so quick.
I think that's what she's doing.
That's
I
fucked up.
honestly think she's honestly
That's so
putting that card out
disrespectful.
there saying, hey, if you want
Yeah.
someone better than her,
I would never trust them together. It would be.
Yeah, she's
like
asking
that.
for an
That's
orgy. Of
crazy.
course
Yeah.
not.
I'm like, no.
Of course not. And the other guy's probably like, because I
That's
mean,
so
she is
disrespectful.
cuter. She is cuter. She's a little bit cuter.
She's way prettier.
Yeah, she's got a little buck tooth action like
Yeah.
me, but she's
The
way
dude's probably
cuter.
like, damn, I could have pulled you instead.
Yeah, and he is saying that
Yeah.
Nab guy. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. That's I don't know. That's so disrespectful.
It's I could admit, like, I might say be like, I don't even remember. I mean, maybe if my friend, like, let's say Fernando was getting married, I might be like, oh, hey, your bride's
Pretty.
looking beautiful.
Yeah. You could say like a
Beautiful.
girl's pretty.
But like,
you can't say like,
oh,
hey,
yo,
I
your
bet you her
girl's
pussy's
double.
tight and
Yeah,
shit.
yeah, dog. Yeah, those
What orgy I wanna
those
try.
double D's you paid for,
Yeah,
homie. What's
that's
up,
crazy.
dog? Let me get a pic, homie. What's up,
Not a
player?
husband. Also,
No,
like
dog.
one, just being married and talking about another man's dick on a podcast is disrespectful, but then talking about your friend's like husband is crazy.
Because this is cool. I'm not hating on this. Obviously, women can do whatever they want, but they're acting. This is for a podcast for when you're single.
Yeah.
For sure, not married.
It's a
Don't have a
dumb-
boyfriend and talk like this, and your boyfriend want to stay with you, then that's on your boyfriend.
Yeah.
What?
This is crazy. Even like Bobby Lee, remember Bobby Lee and Kalila? Like when Kalila would talk about other dudes like in front of him, like that was kind of awkward. Like she'd talk about wanting to fuck other dudes and stuff. Did you ever pay attention to that
I
stuff?
think she's so disgusting. When she told me
And I
that
was
she
like,
used
damn,
to,
on a
when she
pod?
told me that she used to leave her dirty ass, raggedy ass, bloody ass panties on the ground, and then her dogs would like get up in that.
She didn't tell you that.
She told the podcast.
Yeah,
that.
you said what she told me. The only
I used to jerk off dogs a lot. But this isn't like a known thing.
reason why I'm like, you have to clear that up is because you go to the Comedy Store and I'm thinking like you're having conversation. Like she just told you that. Like why?
And she her cousin. She told me that too.
Yeah.
Bobby didn't like it.
That's so funny. Dude. That's crazy.
No, these girls are wild now. Let me see. Play the rest.
Oh.
At least 10 inches. Okay, I have two butthole stories. So one time I met this guy on Tinder and I made the dumb mistake of letting him sleep over, like not really wanting to hook up.
Shut the
And I like woke up in the morning and like my asshole was a little sore. Oh my god. And I remember that he
what
like
kind
Yeah.
porn
Okay.
See?
One, no. As
No,
a girl,
no to what? What you just
have to
said?
say-
One? No.
As a girl, you have to be like, oh, like I just let him sleep over. We're gonna hook up. It's just like shut the fuck up. We have to say stuff like that so it won't seem like whores. But you know what the fuck you're doing. There's no way. There's no
so
way.
she's a Catholic virgin,
Why would you meet a dude on Tinder and let him sleep at your house?
and then your butthole hurt.
That too. Well, that's just dumb. She's like, I think I let him fuck me in my ass.
She's a Catholic virgin.
And she can turn around and just be like, oh, like he
I've
took
never met a
advantage
real.
of me.
I've never met a real Catholic virgin.
Catholic virgin?
Yeah.
Is a Catholic thing? I thought it was a Mormon
Or it
thing.
might be a Mormon thing. I don't know.
One
but
of those like those
the whole basically
where they only do butthole
only
stuff.
butthole shit because it doesn't count.
Doesn't count.
Whatever
I think
the
that's
fuck that means.
Mormons.
Bro,
or they like jump. A friend jumps on the bed or something. You know what I'm talking about?
No, Mormons are the ones that wear those sacred underwears.
Are you talking about the ones with the key?
I don't know. I think we're talking about.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know. But she's wilding out. Let's go back to fucking roasting fucking Ashka's wife. Dog, I'm just. You know what's funny? No, what I was gonna say was, you know what's funny? It's cool that we're wearing scumbag gear. This wasn't on purpose, by the way. This is literally such a coincidence. But this would be such a scum and kick it episode.
Yeah.
I know if we were doing scum and kick it, I would have came back and I was like, yo, watch this shit because we need to hit this fool
Scum
with this
would hate
shit.
this so much. He would have just been like, I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, I don't even think Scum. You're right. Scum wouldn't even entertain
like, why are
this
you marrying? Why are you getting married in the first place? We wouldn't even make it past the first 5 seconds.
All right, let's play the rest of this.
Use a vibrator.
Oh,
Okay.
Hold on.
I remember that what kind of do you watch when you use a vibrator?
Okay, not gonna lie, I don't watch using a vibrator. What? I just think my imagination is vibration enough.
Wow.
I just think of like my own husband while I'm like doing it.
Wait, that's kind of baller, but I could never do that.
Yeah. And so I was
Look at
using
you
and your husband's.
How is it baller? That's kind of
Because you know what she means by
She
baller?
didn't know what to say. She's
It's
like,
so
I
cool
think
that
about
you're
your
in love
husband
with your
too.
man.
Oh.
That's what by baller means. Like she meant by like, wow, you're actually in love with your man. Oh, that's so baller that you don't need to watch another
That's so
guy
embarrassing.
bone another chick. She literally just said that's baller. She didn't even know what to say by that other than like, wow, you're actually in love with your man. You actually get off with your man.
You know what's crazy? It's like it's the same podcast, and like one husband is like proud, and then the other husband just looks like an idiot. Like, wouldn't you want to be the wife that's like making your husband proud?
And
You know what I
here's-
mean?
And then here's the other thing where I don't get. How much richer is that guy Nab or whatever than Oshkosh? Because this is that guy's card always slays.
His face card, that means he's handsome.
Oh,
his
my
face
bad.
card
I thought
always
his card always
slays
slays, my
and
bad.
never declines. She's just talking like a dumb. That's all. He's saying he's cute.
I thought she meant his card always slays.
That's what
like,
I'm saying is that's so disrespectful. She's like, your husband's hot. He has a big dick and a nice body, and I want to have an orgy.
I thought she was talking because I mean,
I get you.
In Oshkosh's defense, his only huge win here is he's loaded.
Money, yeah.
Like he is an ATM. She literally got a $20,000 ring. She got a Tiffany Rolex. Like
But also,
they're not
like,
around. He's got money, like ATM money type of shit.
Indians though, like they're smart. Like they have a lot of money, and they keep in their own like family, and they just build each other up. So they all have money. Like so she's not.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
even though he has
Yeah, look
money,
at
they
Nitty.
still have money.
Yeah, look at Nitty.
Nitty has money.
You haven't seen that wedding he was at? Like you said, like they're not. I'm not saying Nitty's rich, but like the family, like everyone, like you're never gonna be like they're always gonna take care of each other. Is what.
Is he related to
Russell?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, okay.
I know.
I was like, wait.
For living in that fool's mansion, buying
Yeah,
that
that's
fool's
what I was like, is that
fucking
why he
yeah,
takes
buying
care
all
of
his
him?
equipment, buying all his
We shouldn't be saying all this. Anyways.
Why not?
Does he talk about all the stuff that Russell does?
I mean, at this point, I'm gonna edit the names out. I've been good at that.
Okay.
lately.
Yeah. I saw that.
You're wondering who was I'm talking about the vasectomy. Go check out We Don't
That's
Smoke
so
the
funny.
Same.
Okay.
Play the rest of this shit. Let me see.
Finances. And I'm going to be really.
I don't.
We don't.
We don't.
We don't.
First of all, that's a red flag. I'm not like, no joke. I love you girls. If you want to work, all for that, whatever. But like any man that doesn't want to have a joint bank account or isn't being transparent with his accounts or has separate accounts, that's a flag. This is not a two-way street. This is a one-way street. His money is our money and my money is my money. And look, have I only made $600 from content creating?
Wow, I went up $100 from last week.
But that's my money.
Bro.
With those $600, pay the fucking light bill. What I tell you, pay the fucking light bill. Don't just not contribute. $600 ain't a lot, especially for a guy who is a fucking ATM, like I said. But pay the light bill. I'm pretty sure the light bill is not $600. Pay the fucking light bill.
This is crazy. If you want to work or whatever, like what the are you talking about? She went to college. What is she going to college for? Don't you go to college to get a job?
No, they go to college to get indoctrinated. They go to college to get brainwashed and talk like this. That's what they go for. If she
Yeah.
can get a divorce.
Or she just went to college to get by a bunch of dudes.
And the thing is, she's gonna get a divorce. And the only good thing about the divorce, if it even goes through, she's gonna get half that full thing. So divorce wins. She wins. She wins no matter what, dude. No matter what she gets, she wins. Divorce, she wins. She stays with them, she wins. Like,
you think that he didn't sign a prenup?
No, he didn't sign a prenup. He remarried her. I think I sent you another video. This fool proposing her to again.
Oh, again? That was again?
Oh, that was again.
Oh, I thought it was the original.
No.
Okay, I'll pull that up in a minute.
Yeah.
My bad.
She proposed. This fool proposed to her again. She said, "You want to be, what is it? Ghislaine sign again forever?" Like, fool, you guys been married for 3 years. Like, she's not even that much older. You don't need to propose again. You don't need to renew your vows. Sit down.
Crazy.
Yeah, dude.
Okay.
I don't know if you watch The Boys, but I love him on The Boys.
I never watched that show, but like he's on my hall pass list.
Oh yeah.
Chase Crawford, Jacob Elordi, Austin Butler, and who else?
Do you know why I think I have
Wait, pause it?
Oh, okay.
Okay. What do you think about hall passes? Obviously, you shouldn't have a hall pass, but like,
if I wasn't famous, I mean, I'm not famous, but if I was her and I wasn't around famous people, you can't have famous hall passes, right? Like you can't. That's weird, no?
Like, it'd be
Does
very.
that make sense?
I
Because
think
you have a higher chance of getting to that.
I think it'd be very weird. Like, if I was like, "Oh, my hall pass is Whitney Cummings," my girl would be like, "Fool, you
have a
hang
chance.
around with her. That can't be your hall
So I
pass. Like,
love,
it has to be unobtainable." And even then, like, I don't know. I used to say, "Oh, Kim Kardashian's got to be my hall pass." I would always tell every girlfriend I dated that. But at the same time,
Kim
like,
Kardashian, yeah.
but I'm at the same time like, is it even worth the argument? It ain't ever gonna happen. If it happens, I'm probably gonna do it and not tell you.
I remember because my ex knew I liked Luis J. Gomez.
Yeah.
And then when we went to Skankfest, he was like, "What the f-? Like, you literally you're around them. Like, it's different because you're hanging around." But mine are low. My hall passes are low. Like Skittle T.
Adam Ray. I saw Adam Ray look, and Sam too was like, "Yo, who's
Sam?"
your
Yeah. Jared Nathan said no because I have a Honda.
I'll never forget that one trying to get us to go to the strip club.
Butler, and who else?
Do you know why I think I have like a good marriage? I think it's because my husband's never here.
Okay, so
I think that was a joke.
No. I mean, either way, let's say it is, but that's still fucking embarrassing.
Oh, yeah, it's super embarrassing, but I think she's trying to be funny. On some
Laugh
of these,
then.
On some of the, exactly. Yeah, that's the point, is they're not funny.
Yeah, or have him in the background laughing.
Yeah, especially when it's not, and that's the other thing is we all know he's never home.
Yeah.
It'd be different when if he stay home dad and you say some shit like that.
Do you think that's why he's always on the road and like doing stuff?
He's
So
always
he's
on the
not
road.
around
He's
her?
gotta pay for her to keep her, to maintain her lifestyle. Dude, living in New York in that high rise is not cheap.
Oh, they live in New York?
Dude, yeah.
Oh.
Their studios are literally in New York. Andrew Schultz is balling. They're all pretty far. They're all very well off.
Yeah, Andrew Schultz, yeah. But he does movies and shit too.
Yeah, but Oscar sells out shows too. Dude, I don't understand. Dude, I'd be canceling all my shows.
Oh, because they're Indian, huh? And they support each other like sick.
Yeah.
True.
But I'd be canceling all my shows.
Why? Oh, to see if she stays?
Dude.
Or you mean because he's gonna get roasted all the time?
Yes, hecklers. Are you kidding me, dude? Hecklers are coming in hot. He's performing in Irvine December 3rd. I already looked it up.
Are you gonna go?
I was thinking just because it's his first show. It's his first show before this chaos situation.
Does Nitty fuck with? I know this is crazy. It's just because Indians are so close.
You're
Does
real
Nitty?
racist with that.
I don't care. Is Nitty close to him?
I don't think they know each other.
Oh. So where you could go to the show and then like meet him and stuff just to see? Do you know? Have you met him before?
No, I've never met none of them.
Oh, okay.
No, I've never met. They don't. That's the thing is
because they love Sam.
Yeah, that's why they wanted to bring Skankfest back to New York.
Oh, okay.
So Andrew Schultz and them could do it because they were saying they didn't want to fly. You know how?
Yeah.
Another kind of big deal out there. So, but.
And they still didn't do it.
Yeah.
But I was just wondering because like I mean you could. I don't know. Like look, Russell all of a sudden is Russell near him? Russell Peters.
I don't know.
Do you get me?
I get you, but I don't.
It's not like I'm crazy. Like Mexicans stick together.
A little bit.
Indians,
that's like me saying
all the Asians.
Yeah, but that's like me saying.
The only ones that don't stick together are white people.
Yeah, but that's like me saying if I know Ralph Barbosa.
Kind of.
I was gonna say Ken Flores. I did have a podcast. I did have him on my podcast.
You guys are like around them.
Yeah, every time I'm like Renee Baca, like I'm not.
Here's a clip from the latest Broken Sim.
The stupidest things about white people. Like
so interesting.
so dumb. And that was my entire algorithm. White women going, listen, if you don't understand love and you just preach hate, then maybe white man, you need to go. It's like so dumb. So dumb. So dumb.
It's brilliant, really, when you think about how your algorithm is attuned to your, your soft spots. You know what I mean? Like the places to touch you and just setting you on a rage
it's also
bender.
stuff that make you go in the rage bait. It's rage bait. That's what the algorithm's about, pissing you off, getting your anxiety high. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about.
This guy says I look Asian.
You do look Asian, Johnny. You look like your dad is white and your mom is Asian.
I will say that is one of, as far as mixes usually look more attractive than the two that came before, but that's one of the worst. Like when you have somebody who's like a quarter Asian, not a good look typically, I have to say, because you get
a little
really
downsy.
Yeah, a little downsy. Yeah, because you're pale like a white person, but then you got like a little of the eye thing of the Asian.
Are you calling Steve Byrne downsy?
Yeah.
Wow, your silence speaks volumes, Johnny.
Well, no, I had to recall his face. Steve Byrne is
the greatest political comics of our time.
I don't know his comedy that well, I have to say.
So, Johnny, we don't watch Saturday Night Live, but I had Dana sent me a video. So they have that young Latino kid I've met him at the comedy store. He's a really funny, nice kid. He's really big on Saturday Night Live. He's kind of crushing it. And can you look up SNL Sebastian Maniscalco? I know you can't play
any
it.
SNL.
Can you just show the picture of it, the thumbnail?
Okay. Of that sketch?
Yeah.
All right, I got it right here.
And by the way, Saturday Night Live, for people dying to have people watch, you should let people share your content, you dumbass.
That's right.
Right there. He's playing Sebastian
Glenn Powell, right?
Yeah. So my opinion is Sebastian will be hosting Saturday Night Live this actor they're trying to shove down, and I have nothing against him. I've seen him in a couple movies.
He's funny.
He's nice, but they are shoving him down our throats.
Yeah. No.
He's in everything now.
They got to have a guy. They don't have a guy right now, and they really
because
need
they're
one.
not going to have a guy because no one's watching blockbusters anymore because they all are formulated and suck, except for our blockbuster we're going to write with AI.
Absolutely.
Right?
Are we supposed to say it's with AI?
Yeah, I just did because I'm not afraid because I'm functionally illiterate.
This guy says, "Squint your eyes and tell Sam he dishonor you." You'll dishonor me.
Johnny, what are you doing, bro?
Hey, we do what the listeners ask for on the show.
We do. We really do. We really do. Johnny, I think that's all the stories I wanted to tell.
Okay, we'll just do a couple of news things that are kind of
Johnny, I gotta go.
Curdling here.
I literally
need to
go.
Okay, give me 10 minutes and then we'll be done.
I have to do another podcast.
Have you seen tonight?
Yeah.
Are you crazy?
I have to do premium content. I have to make money. And you still have to read. Johnny, save the stories for when we meet in the studio.
No, we need to get a little padding at it because they don't like it when we put the ad right at the end. Have you seen? Did you see Eddie
reading the gay dollars?
We'll do that. There aren't a ton, so we'll get to.
There's enough to be proud of, Johnny.
Yeah, I mean, I'm saying it's not. Just let me show this video. Did you see Eddie Murphy from his Netflix thing?
No, Dana was talking about how good it is.
I haven't seen it yet, but clips have been going around of him with these Richard Pryor, Cosby, Paul Mooney, puppets, and dude, it is so funny him doing these voices. The way he can puppet these things.
Put that pill in the chocolate. Now, see, how you gonna ask me that I put the pill in the chocolate when you know that I put the pill in the chocolate? Hey, man, y'all went all out. God damn, this your place? I be damn. I put the pill in my motherfucking mouth. Fuck the chocolate. Yeah. That's Paul Mooney, homie.
Oh,
Paul Mooney, Richard Pryor, and Bill Cosby. This nigga has lost his mind. That's in the documentary, he broke out 3 nigga puppets, homie. Nigga, run around in my grave, homie.
He called me the M word too.
Yeah, that's why I thought this was great. I thought it would be a great memory for you of Paul.
I miss. I did that joke. I did one set where I did all my dangerous jokes. It was late night.
How'd it go?
And I did all. They all crush. My essay joke is crushing.
Good.
I had one line that
it.
might be one line too much, but it is crushing.
You'll find your way. But that I think that's very funny. We were late on this, but I just saw it and wanted to just show a little bit of. Did you see that Javier Milei, the guy from Argentina, it did a concert? Trump wants to do something like this.
Su cola arde de risco y espero que alguna vez al ver sus ojos me dé alguna noche de hotel. En mi boca no hay control.
What is happening, dude?
Me voy cayendo a su piel. Las piernas son un abrigo.
He's like making these crazy faces and stuff. Isn't that wild?
Yeah. I mean, dude, and this guy, we had to bail him out.
Yeah, no, totally. We completely
unbelievable, dude.
So this is I put this in the preview, so we should hit this too.
Hey, dude, somebody said they're watching us from Argentina.
Oh, shout out. Is it Malay or Malay? Argentinian person, can you tell us, is it Malay or Malay?
Care? Do you think I care?
I care. I like
to whatever we want to say it is.
I like to get things right. So there's this story about how, and this is from the Telegraph, about how the UK government, and I'm going to have to be careful with what I say here, is hiding information about C-19, let's call it, and excess unalivings.
Of course they are.
That because they would think it would be troubling to the public for this information to get out, which is just astounding.
You know what part of the public is? The people who made us take it.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean that
right.
Yeah. This is the headline from the Telegraph. Government, quote, withholding data that may link the thing in your arm to excess Ds. Because it would lead to, quote, distress or anger of bereaved relatives if the connection were discovered. That's the Telegraph reporting it, which is like, boy, it's coming.
Yep.
This is going to be one of those things where it's going to be like the blank files that are going to come out like 30 years from now.
Yeah.
And we're going to find out how much we were lied to about all of this.
I agree.
Okay.
I agree,
So
Johnny.
this is probably our favorite video of the past week. This is what it's like to have a superpower. Some people, in this world, are just gifted with actual superpowers.
If you'd like to hear the rest of this episode, subscribe to Broken Simulation in your podcasting app or check us out at youtube.com/Sam Tripoli.
We go deep, homeboy. Aaron, open your mind. Drink from the fountain of knowledge. There's lizard people everywhere. That's some interdimensional shit. Wake up, Aaron.
This is only the beginning.
Dude, you just blew my mind. Tinfoil hack.